Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Make sure you guys can hear me. Yes, you can. Welcome to J is for Justice. Do not adjust your sets. I am rocking the grays, guys. Rocking the grays. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this unplanned live stream. Good to see all of you. So I'm thinking about growing it out. I'm thinking about just rocking it. I'm going to be 50 in like 2 months. It's looking spotty and weird right now. I don't know what to do. You guys let me know what you think. Patty Ponytail, you sound like you would know what to do with hair. What should I do? Should I go ahead and dye it, or should I just rock the old age? Rock the old age. I don't know. We'll see.
You're being a Karen.
I know, Kanye, I know. So, good morning. Thank you for coming. I caught this speech with President Biden and I was outraged. And I'm not like picking sides here. I don't care if it was a Republican, a Democrat, a Libertarian. I don't care who they are. I just think people deserve respect. And when I see our government's not giving respect, it infuriates me, because this dude has no idea what they've been through. Hi, Robin. No idea what they've been through. He can't even begin to fathom that. Like, these people are so out of touch with reality. It's not even funny. So we're going to watch his speech. I'm going to be pausing and reacting to it. It's just, it just infuriated me, because he couldn't even speak from his heart or his soul, probably because he doesn't have one at this point. He had to read something, and what he read was so disconnected. So disconnected. Look at my grays, Shell. I got spotty grays, but rocking getting older. That's what, oh, my hair's pretty dark though, guys, for rocking it. But I mean, just so out of touch. So out of touch. But before we begin today, I'm going to share some news with you guys. So a lot of you know Shane Culkin, who comes into our chats. He hasn't been here in a while. He's been working hard out there. But he bought me a birthday gift last year and Christmas gifts. And he sent them to me. I got them yesterday. So I thought that I made a video. Thank you so much, Ken. Kendi, thank you. No, I would never go blonde. I would not look right blonde. But he finally sent them. So I got it was Christmas in August yesterday, and I recorded it. And I didn't hit record. I thought I did, and I didn't. So yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys. You see all those shoe boxes behind me? He got me 2 pairs of Uggs, a pair of Airs, Nike Airs, and a Michael Kors wristlet. I mean, how generous is this? Check out these Ugg slides, guys. Are these not bad ass? Check it. Look at these slides. They're fucking platforms, dude. Do you know I could not wait to get these on my feet? They're fucking awesome. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Shane, because I fucked up the video. And he and I have promised each other that this Christmas we're going to do a Christmas live with drinks. So Culks is going to come up on panel, have some drinks at Christmas time, and we're going to celebrate. So that'll be coming up really soon, guys. Christmas is right around the corner. So I see we have a birthday in chat. He got me boots. They're Ugg boots, but they're waterproof. You guys, They're so cute. All right. So I will show you guys my Nikes and my boots another time because I want to get into this because we have a live scheduled at 3. So I want to wish Sassy. Sassy is one of our members, and she's got a fucking birthday today. Sassy, this one's for you.
Go, shorty. It's your birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Sassy. No, I am a Scorpio. Merry Christmas and happy birthday to me, right? 2022. Check this out. I saved the tag because I didn't even see the back. He's going to make me cry. I bawled when I opened this stuff. He wrote the year on it. So it says 2022, so I figured I better collect him because he said there's more this year. So sweet. But look at the back. He said, "Thank you for being such a nice and great friend." That's what this is all about, guys. Connections like we make every day here. So happy birthday, Sassy. I hope you have the best day ever. And let's do this. Let's roll into this speech. Okay, so first we're going to start out by we're going to watch this little video first. Let's watch this. This is when the fires first happened. Okay. So this is, the reporters are trying to get a reaction from our president, right? Are your prayers with the people of Hawaii, Mr. President? Let's see what he did.
President, any comments on the rising death toll in Maui?
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
Yeah, let's watch that again for the people in the back.
President, any comments on the rising death toll in Maui?
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
No comment. He doesn't even listen. He smiled. He doesn't listen. All right, so there's the first. That's when it first happened, okay? Now, we had all this devastation, all of these people being blocked in, not being able to leave, all this stuff. And it's been 2 weeks since that fire wiped out Lahaina. 2 weeks. And then this man barely gets off Air Force One to make his speech. And the people there are outraged. So I'm not surprised that I'm feeling this way, because the people there, I'm going to show you, they're like, F this dude, man, go home. But Biden and his wife showed up in their sneakers, and her in her floods, and him in his sneakers, and the press went on and on. MSNBC and all those went on and on about how he had his ball cap on and he was so relatable, getting off Air Force One in his sneakers. He's wearing sneakers because he'll fall in dress shoes. Let's not sugarcoat this. He barely walked around this rubble. Let's just get into it. I'm going to zip it. So here he is, photo op. You know, this is what they do, guys. They probably started at one end of the road. This is what this shit is, man. And we're going to call it like it is today, because the people of Hawaii deserve better. Way better. So they probably have him walk from one end to the other. Okay. And the reason I say this is not because I'm some professional who knows, but even when I did Dateline, they do what's called B-rolls. And they're like, okay, go to that end of the hallway and then walk into this room. And they have you do it like 20 times. And then they get the best one and they use it. So this is fully not like, oh, he's touring it and he's really looking around and they just happen to catch him walking by. It's all staged. It's all staged. And he's walking with that governor and his wife, the four of them, hand in hand. I mean, Biden's not even looking around. Do you see how fake this is? Look at her in her sneakers and her floods. What's her name? Is there a flood coming? No, there's been fires, bitch. You don't need your floods. Oh, look at the car, Biden. Oh my God. Look at that metal. This is so sickening. Potato! Potato says he's focusing on one foot in the front of the other. Holy. Dr. Jill. Oh yeah, Jill. I forgot her name. So I wonder how long Governor's been married to his Hawaiian wife. What a look for him, huh? I don't care for the governor. I mean, this is just uncomfortable. This is really awkward. Jill must be feeling really awkward right now. Yes, sassy, I know. The sheriff is the same sheriff that was on the strip during the Vegas shootings. See, that was all said. Look at this. This is sickening because you know what, you guys? That is all dead people around there. It's like 9/11. That's why they don't want to show the rubble because there's thousands of people burned to nothing in there, just like they were at 9/11, ground zero. This is basically a ground zero right now. That's why they don't want people trampsing through there. That's why they don't want videos. But they got the podium set up right in the middle of it.
Well, hello, people of Maui. Shown such absolute incredible courage. That's not hyperbole. I want you to know, on behalf of the United States of America, all the nation, the American people stand with you. Governor Josh Green, you've been incredible from the day we've spoken on this. You've been way ahead of the curve. Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke, Brian Shantz, our Senator Maisie. By the way, Maisie, I told my granddaughter, whose name is Maisie as well, she said, that's why I like her. Anyway, but her name is Maisie as well.
Inappropriate.
And Jill Takuda, Representative Ed Chase, and Mayor Rick Bassin. Rick, when we talked on the phone, you look like you played in defensive tackle for I don't know who, but somebody good.
What?
But anyway,
cut his mic.
I want to thank you for your leadership and during this unimaginable tragedy. To my left is the banyan tree, beloved by this community for over 150 years. Here in the former capital of the Kingdom of Hawaii, that has stood for generations as a sacred spot of exceptional significance. One of the people who took me under his wing when I first got to the Senate was Danny Inouye. He used to talk about the Kingdom of Hawaii. He came from Japan, but it was amazing to listen to him. Today is burned, but it's still standing. The tree survived for a reason. I believe it's a very powerful symbol of what we can and will do to get through this crisis.
Yes.
And for as long as it takes, we're going to be with you. The whole country will be with you. You know, we will be respectful of the sacred grounds and the traditions that rebuild the way the people of Maui want it built, not the way others want it built. We're going to rebuild the way the people of Maui want it built. But you know,
sounds convincing.
It's going to be hard. America's deadliest wildfire in over a century. And Jill and I have what's left, walked Front Street, what's left of it. We've surveyed the damage from the air as well. The devastation is overwhelming. To date, 114 dead, hundreds of people unaccounted for. I remember when I got the call, my first wife and daughter, I was a young senator, and I got a call in Washington. I hadn't been sworn in yet. I wasn't old enough. And I was hiring staff in the Capitol at Teddy Kennedy's office. And I got a phone call saying from my fire department, and a young first responder kind of panicked, you got to come home. There's been an accident. I said, what happened? He said, your wife, she's dead. Come home, come home. The tractor trailer had broadsided her and killed her in a car accident along with my little daughter. And
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
remember all the way down from Washington home, wondering what a lot of people here are wondering. What about my two boys? How are they? They were in the car. I never got a read on that. Were they going to be all right? They were badly injured. Were they going to make it?
He's
Had
trying to
they
relate.
Made it. Wasn't until I walked into the emergency room that I saw that they were there. The difference between knowing somebody's gone and worrying whether they're available to come back are two different things. You know, and I remember one of the people who helped me the most was Danny Inouye. He helped bring me back, so I
This is
know the feeling that as many of the people in this town, this community, that hollow feeling you have in your chest like you're being sucked into a black hole, wondering, will I ever get by this? You know, and it's one thing to know, but it's quite another thing to have to wait to wonder whether your family member is going to be okay. Imagine being a parent wondering whether your child is, where it is. I remember, as I said, you know, press reports of grandfathers crying for lost neighbors while trying to be strong for the ones who survived. Of a woman distributing clothing to survivors who says she didn't lose her home, but she lost her hometown. But I also want all of you to know the country grieves with you, stands with you, and will do everything possible to help you recover, rebuild, and respect culture and traditions when the rebuilding takes place. My administration has been in constant contact with the governor and congressional delegation and local leaders. As soon as I got the governor's request, I signed the major disaster declaration.
Does he even know? Look at Jill. She's like, oh my God. Could this get any worse? You know, Mr. President, I'm really sorry about the loss of your daughter, but you were able to go to the hospital and find your children that survived this accident when you're standing around rubble right now. Like, he's oblivious, it seems like, to the fact that he's standing around ground zero of where thousands of people are dead. And I just want to make something clear. I don't prefer one politician over another. I'm showing you guys this mainly because I want you guys to stop fighting with each other over these dickheads. These guys don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. And to see you guys in chat fighting, oh, Trump this, Trump that, he doesn't give a fuck either. No, none of them do. They have so much money. They are so desensitized to reality. Okay. So I'm showing you this to say, think twice before you fight with your best friend. Think twice before you stop talking to a family member over these people. We need to be together because, like, we're on the side of the Hawaiian citizens, right? We're on the side of Hawaii, the people. The people. We are the people, right? I'm not going to fight with anyone over this dude or his wife or Trump. Are you kidding me? No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. He's very out of touch. He's very old. He's probably sick, but it's not an excuse. And for everybody that says they feel bad for him, that's fine. You can have sorrow for him, but ultimately, I'm more concerned that this is our commander in chief. That's my concern. You know, his wife and his cabinet, whatever the fuck they're called, can worry about his health. They can be responsible for his health. I'm more worried about the person that is running our country. Running our country. That's scary. Okay? I don't really care about his health per se. I care about things being done that are supposed to be done and being done for what's best for us. Not what's best for their pocketbooks, not what's best for their image, but what's best for the people. And reading a piece of paper talking about Hawaii's history is absolutely shameful to me. He should know Hawaii's history off the back of his hand. He's the president of the United States of America. He should not have to read anything. And if he really related, like he said, with his accident, he wouldn't need to read anything because his empathy would speak for him. Okay? This guy is not worth fighting with anyone over. He's not. He's not. Amanda, yeah, sometimes we cover politics because when it relates to the people, we need to be aware. I'm not political, but this is my country. This is my leader. And I pay attention to everything. I don't just pay attention to murders. I pay attention to everything in the world that's going on. And if you don't like when I do political lives, you don't have to watch them. But the title was clear. This is not a true crime stream, but it is a news stream. And it's important. The people of Hawaii deserve better. And and we cover victims. Exactly, Flo. This is all about the victims of Hawaii. Bye, Aztec. Don't let the door hit ya. Where the good Lord split ya.
Fuck off and die.
That mobilize the whole of government response, which means whatever you need, you're going to get. For example, the Coast Guard and Navy immediately supported maritime search and rescue operations, while the Army helped fire suppression. Here's what we've been doing since. First, we focused on search and rescue, which is still going on. Right now, there are over 450 search and rescue experts working round the clock. Second, I've identified FEMA's Administrator Griswold to lean forward, as she always has done, to help survivors get immediate aid. FEMA's quickly provided 55,000 meals, 75,000 liters of water, 5,000...
They didn't need him to come here and read a list of what is supposed to be being done. They need the president to come there and support them. Tell them what they're going to do.
Beds, 10,000 blankets, working to help remove the debris, repair roads, and restore power. Additionally, my Department of Housing and Urban Development is working with the state to make sure survivors can move from emergency shelters into temporary housing to finally have a permanent place to call home as well. Small Business Administration is making low-interest federal disaster loans available to Hawaiian businesses, many of them we've seen here.
For people who qualify.
Homeowners and renters and nonprofits. If you need help, you can visit FEMA's Disaster Recovery Center at Maui College or go to disasterassistance.gov. Disasterassistance.gov. Today, I'm appointing...
You're talking to people. Look behind him. Look behind him. We're going to give you $700 a week. Go to disaster.org.
Bob Fenton is here. Where are you, Bob?
Where you at, Bob?
I'm appointing Bob Fenton as our Chief Federal Response Coordinator for Maui to lead our long-term recovery work. He's one of the nation's most experienced disaster response and recovery experts in America. And I'm directing him to make sure the community has everything the federal government can offer to heal and to rebuild as fast as possible. And we're focused on what's next. That's rebuilding long-term, rebuilding for long-term, and doing it together to help get us back on our feet, to rebuild the way we want to rebuild, by making sure your voices are heard, by respecting your traditions, by understanding the deep history and meaning of this sacred ground, and establishing your community not to change its character, but reestablish it. We're also going to bring the capabilities to help you rebuild so your critical infrastructure is more resilient in the future. All this matters. Let me close with this. From stories of grief,
that's all he's got.
So many stories of hope and heroism, of the aloha spirit. Every emergency responder put their lives on the line for us, save others. Everyday heroes, neighbors helping neighbors, Native Hawaiian leaders offering solace and strength. And this banyan tree, one called it the diamond in the rough of hope. Another referred to fire cannot reach its roots, what he said. Fire cannot reach its roots. That's Maui. That's America. And to the people of Hawaii, we're with you for as long as it takes, I promise you. May God bless all those we've lost. May God find those who we haven't determined yet. And may God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Now I'm happy to turn this over to the Governor Green.
Oh, God. I cannot. Okay, I'm looking for the luau one. Hold on. I wanted to play that one, and then we have him at the luau dinner. Let me get that pulled up here. I thought I saved it. I've got to find it. I don't think we need to listen to the governor. Oh, this is his wife. This is the governor's wife right here.
in the last days of their vacations here because they know that they're.
I don't know if you guys saw her or not, but look at Biden back there. I don't think he's wearing a vest. Someone said it looked like he was wearing a bulletproof vest. I don't think he is. It does all matter, Teresa. Right, Donna, I know. Go to disaster.gov. Like, what? All right. Where was that luau at? Or whatever he went to. What was the dinner called? Because I can only find clips now. The whole thing I can't find.
We just surveyed the damage.
Okay, here's a clip. If someone can find the full video of this Maui event, maybe we can watch it. Here's a clip of it. Hold on. This is a couple minutes long. I guess this is when he says something about he almost lost his wife in a fire or something.
We just surveyed the damage. I want you to know, whatever it takes, as long as it takes. I look at your congressmen and senators and governor and lieutenant governor. We're going to get it done for you. But get it done the way you want it done, not get it done somebody else's way. No, I mean it. I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense,
but I will.
What it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press.
My God.
It was a sunny Sunday. And lightning struck at home on a little lake. It's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond. And hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside, I watched the firefighters, the way they responded. No, there's no...
What? What did I just hear? What? He's talking about his fucking Corvette? These people's children got burned. Do you realize, you guys, that there was a child? There was a child that was found, burned, draped over his golden retriever. This motherfucker's talking about a Corvette.
What?
I don't give a shit if you like Trump, you hate Trump. This is a fucking disgrace. That is a disgrace to these people. He ought to be ashamed of himself. This is bad. That's bad. And then he says, all kidding aside, this isn't a time to be fucking kidding. I wish this guy behind him with the ukulele would just punch him out. His fucking Corvette. Most of us can't even pay our insurance bills, Biden. Oh, see, this should infuriate you. These people are so out of touch. And it took them 2 weeks to make this disgraceful visit. 2 weeks after this. Like, he did this, and then 2 weeks.
President, any comments on the rising death toll in Maui?
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
Fucking fuzzy slippers and lip gloss.
It's terrible. I can't imagine what the people overseas that watch us think. I can't even imagine what our friends in Ireland and England and all the people, Canada, everybody around the world, what they must think. Americans we swooped in, we took over the Hawaiians' land, and then we teach Americans that it was a good thing for Hawaii to become a state, and they kind of suppress the truth. And then this happens. He says no comment, and then takes him 2 weeks, and this is what they get. Look at the guy behind him. He's like, what the fuck? Go home. It's terrible. It's terrible.
My 67 Corvette
Oh, God. We wouldn't want you to lose that.
air conditioning duct. To make a long story short,
Look at the Hawaiians behind him when he says this bullshit. They're like, he is on some bullshit, and we want to whack him over the head with these
it's
ukuleles.
outside of our home, not on a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside, I watched the firefighters, the way they responded. You know, there's an old expression. I grew up right across the street from a fire hall in Claymont, Delaware. And the expression is, God made man, then he made a few firefighters. You're all crazy, thank God. The only people who run into flames to help other people. And they ran into flames to save my wife and save my family. Not a joke. The smoke, and the firefighters here can tell you, sometimes smoke is so thick from the windows out, it was that thick inside the home. And we were insured. We did not have any problem, but being out of our home for a better part of a year was difficult.
Wow.
I can only imagine
No, you can't.
what it's like to lose your home
You can't imagine shit.
completely,
No, you can't.
burned to the ground,
No, you can't.
and more importantly, all the things that matter to you
No, you can't.
from that ring he gave you when you were 19 years old, from that special letter that came for your son or your daughter.
Somebody
The little
in Washington
things
with more than
that matter
5 brain
most. The
cells
album,
needs to listen to
the family
this.
albums,
Well, maybe ask
all
them
of
to
it
have 5 brain cells
is
too
a
many. Let's
touchstone.
shoot for 3 brain
All
cells.
the things we care about and lose.
What? Okay, I think I found the whole thing, guys. Wait, what is this? Yes, I think I found it.
Now singing Hawaii Pono'i. Let's listen in.
Okay, yes, I found it. All right, guys, this is going to be good. Okay. Oh, it just infuriates me, guys. I don't know why it makes me so mad. I guess because J is for
Now
justice.
singing Hawaii Pono'i. Let's listen in.
So this is what they did for his dinner or whatever. Okay, let's look at. I want to know how he has hair, because the other day I did a video and he had no hair on top of his head. He's smiling like he's at Disney World watching a damn show, or like he's on vacation. I can't. Okay, let's fast forward this.
A couple of different things.
And people are singing that with pride, Billy.
They're singing loud. They're singing proud, but this does a couple of different things I'm noticing. First of all, having Hawaiian music at a disaster event like this sends out a message. It brings the room together, but it also lowers the temperature before things begin.
Oh,
And usually in these,
I was going to say he spotted a kid. He looked down.
we anticipate there might be some oli, traditional Hawaiian protocol, and so important. We've seen other meetings where it really brought people together and bringing people together in spirit. That definitely will be
No, I think he
something,
fell asleep at the
President Biden
table.
hasn't seen before.
And I think you're right, Billy, in that it really sets a tone. It sets an atmosphere that is different from maybe what some were expecting when they first walked through
It's
the
just
door.
so awkward.
And there are still a lot of questions, and there's still a lot of
Somebody in
recovery to be
Washington
happening.
with more than
So
5
why don't we
brain
just
cells needs to listen to
the
this.
music that's happening right now.
Well, maybe asking them to have 5 brain cells too many. Let's shoot for 3 brain cells.
It's so awkward. I can't even. Does anybody know? Is that Secret Service behind him? Was he coming? Look at that's like because he was following him down that road too. The guy in the plaid. He's all like dressed for the to tour the rubble. He's scanning the room. I bet security was tight, and it was probably hard to get a bunch of Hawaiians in this room with him to act happy. So let's fast forward here. He stands there like a goon. All right, here we go.
Let's keep standing.
What is he doing? What is he doing?
Open up in a time of prayer. Go ahead and grab the hand of the person that's standing next to you.
He's completely incoherent, guys. He does not know what's going on.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for today. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the people that are in this room. We thank you for those that have given so selflessly in this time and continue to pour out your blessing over this
And
town,
Andres.
this island. Lord God, we just thank you that as the days to come, we continue to see through the eyes of faith that found is the word, that the spirit of unity among this town continues to echo throughout the nation, that Lahaina, we are still here. We thank you that you continue to keep us in unity, for your word says that where there is unity, there is a commanded blessing. We thank you for the angels that continue to show out, that continue to come from elsewhere, that bring provision, that bring wisdom, insight, understanding.
What was that?
And most of all, we don't forget. We will continue to imua. We'll continue to stay together. We'll continue to teach from the place.
COVID, cover your mouth.
From ashes rise beauty. And
He
we
does
are
look
declaring
pasty.
That Lahaina, Maui is marked
He doesn't look.
for a time
Why does he keep
such as
coughing?
this,
Is he sick?
that you'll get all the glory. So I ask that you just wrap yourself around those that are present here, those that are still in the situation of locating family members. Your peace be with them.
Did you see that, Trey?
Your responders. Your peace be with our kupuna
like-
of this town. And we declare unity among our leadership. Where there is unity, there's a commanded blessing. And we thank you for being at the center of all things. Bless this day. And I thank you
I
for
did
all
not
those
see him on the beach, and I don't think I want to.
our mahua, our keiki, our opio, and that those that have continued and gone on to glory. Lord, have your way today. And we thank you for this time, for our family.
Oh my gosh, this isn't even his
All of this in
speech.
your precious name.
It was just the prayer. Are you kidding me?
Joining us now is Kainoa Horkajo.
Are you freaking kidding me? Hold on. This is Hawaii News Now. They have a lot of good updates. Here we go. They streamed all day yesterday. Here he is. They waited for him to come down forever. Hurry up and wait type thing. Let's see. I'll let you guys see him walk off. You guys are enjoying this, it seems.
And
then we'll
I
fast
covered that.
forward.
It was quite frustrating for the press because she didn't make any local appearances other than to wave and walk through Koloa. So his visit will be quite a bit more detailed, quite a bit more close to the
I'm
ground.
sure it will.
As he's known.
Is the FEMA administrator, Deanne Criswell, who's
Oh, we missed it.
you too.
Here he goes.
You know that because you were just there.
Well, yeah, more than me. Yeah.
Well, when you drive on Honoapi'ilani Highway, the downed infrastructure is really significant. I mean, that's on Honoapi'ilani Highway that is now open to the public. And to see all of the power poles down.
Hey, Debbie in
and to see
Tucson.
someone Entering right now. Casey, you've got the view.
Here we go. He's got his sneakers.
Yeah, we have the president and Jill Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, coming down the stairs. Let's give this a moment here. He's had a busy day, just traveled from the mainland. Now greeted by Governor Josh Green.
Such a rough day.
And he's leaving back to the mainland shortly after this trip. Today he's hugging and...
He stays there for a few hours and leaves.
Deanne Criswell, we're just talking about the FEMA administrator behind him.
Yep. Senator Schatz and then Senator Hirono there. Then we expect after this moment, a very quick, you also may have noticed the very important devices that are travel with the president being whisked away to the helicopters, the nuclear football. Those go where he goes. But right now, this is a moment of embrace and healing.
From The Simpsons?
Sure that,
oh my God, he does.
What this visit is meant to accomplish. And eventually, a pretty quick transition to Marine One, the two helicopters that are here adjacent to Air Force One. But of course, only one of them is Marine One. That is the vehicle that will take them to Lahaina to view that disaster zone where so many homes, so many lives were lost.
And even though we're
what
at
do
a
you
far
think?
distance,
I want to ask Mejia and Grace, the conversation that's happening right now between Senator Hirono is not afraid to speak her mind and the president because they've been talking for quite a minute. You almost can tell she's kind of caught his attention.
You certainly can, Casey.
I hope she's reading him the riot act.
On President Biden's face and Dr. Jill Biden's face. Clearly, they've been briefed, they are impacted, and those long embraces just tell a story in itself. You can feel the emotion, even though we're at a far distance.
You can feel the emotion. No, you can't. The fuck? So dramatic. Yeah, they streamed all day. Here's some more footage.
See evidence of that in different...
As they meet with these officials.
We have been warning people for days that there is asbestos, there is lead, there are all kinds of toxic chemicals in this area.
But none of them are wearing masks? What the fuck?
Earlier, whether or not we would see the president wearing a mask, but as you can see, he is not wearing one.
That's right. And in fact, none of them are wearing masks.
Why aren't they wearing masks,
I
guys?
suspect it's because this visit isn't very long. One thing about being on the ground there, no matter which direction you're in, where the wind is going, is that if you're there for a little while,
okay. What I want to know, I'm a little bothered right now. And I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on, even though I don't fucking have one. But imagine me putting my tinfoil hat on and hear me out. This is toxic, right? We all remember 9/11. We all watched 9/11 recovery, the cleanup. What did they wear when they went anywhere near those buildings? Fucking masks. They don't even have a cloth mask on. Why? So what did they do? Move some of the rubble to a little like staging area and then have him there because we don't want him in the toxic air? Why the fuck they're not going to put him in toxic air with no mask? They're just not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. So tinfoil hat on. They took a scene that they moved shit or something and made a photo opportunity place that was safe for him. Because there's no way they're not wearing masks. And how sick that they're, in all this rubble where there's dead bodies. Where's all the children? Why didn't he mention any of the children that are missing? Where's the list of people that are missing? Because they want to say 1,000 or 800 and some are missing. Do you buy that? Do you buy that number? Put a 1 in chat if you buy that there's only 800 people missing right now. Put a 1 in chat if you buy that. Put a 2 in chat if you think that's bullshit.
At least an hour or so, your eyes are going to start to burn.
Oh, that's FEMA. That's FEMA. No masked? And your eyes are going to burn? Come on now.
Green there to the left. To the right, it looks like that is
Wake
the FEMA
up.
administrator, Deanne Criswell, that we have heard from in the last couple of weeks as well.
And I believe that's General Hara who's speaking to them as well. They are literally in the middle of the destruction. And one of the things that they're feeling and experiencing is the incredible, overwhelming smell, I'm sure, of that area. This area is toxic.
They don't look
And
like they're
that
having
is some of the
problems
information
breathing
that
to
they'll
me.
be gathering and sending back to Washington, and also gathering for themselves as they meet with these officials.
We have been warning people for days that there is asbestos, there is lead, there are all kinds of toxic chemicals in this area. And we had speculated earlier whether or not we would see the president wearing a mask, but as you can see, he is not wearing one.
That's
No
right.
one is.
And in fact, none of them are wearing masks. And I suspect it's because this visit isn't very long. One thing about being on the ground there, no matter which direction you're in, where the wind is going, is that if you're there for a little while, at least an hour or so, your eyes are going to start to burn. And for some people who have gone in and out of this area multiple times, they do start to cough because of all of those toxins in the area. This area of Lahaina, obviously historic, so you've got arsenic, lead, all kinds of toxins that were melted, chemicals in the area. So this visit with FEMA and other officials, including the governor, will be brief, but enough for them to get a sense of what's happening on the ground.
The destruction, I think, is obvious, with the buildings completely collapsed, completely destroyed. I think one thing you pointed out, Mejia, when you were showing viewers in Lahaina was it was so hot. You could see evidence of that in different ways, right?
That's right. When people were running from Lahaina, the ground was incredibly hot. I mean, we heard stories of people's slippers melting and their tires were melting. I'm not sure if the ground is still hot now, but the incredible heat that was melting metal, melting glass, and unfortunately,
they're all breathing
killing people
fine
as they were trying to flee.
One thing we reported on, and I think was so heartbreaking, was the fact that so many have been trapped by the flames that they were forced to escape into the ocean. And what we heard in the days after were the accounts that part of the reason so many had to stay in the water 7-8 hours in the smoke, in the embers with the choppy waves, was because the ground was so hot. And once they were in the water, they were barefoot. They couldn't get
He
out
might
because the ground
smell
was so hot
something.
for
You
them
know
to
what?
walk
He
on.
might smell something foul. Look at his face. Look at his face. He does smell something foul. I'm sure it smells foul around there. His face. He looks like he just smelled Letitia Stauch.
Miss Staunch? Stouch. Stouch. Miss Stouch?
I think he smells something foul.
Which is why they needed to be saved by the Coast Guard in the first place.
And I'm sure that some of the stories that the president and First Lady are hearing is how difficult it was to breathe. And even in some of the neighborhoods that were not necessarily burned by fire, people were literally gagging from the thick
Oh,
smoke.
step
And
up
have
here. We
heard
can't
from
see
our,
you for the photo op.
First responder sources that there were multiple people who were
Puppets. Don't fight with your family over puppets. Don't. Just don't. Guys. Don't fight with each other over puppets. Is this the one we already watched? Oh, yeah, it's just a different angle. Oh, here's the dinner. Oh, why can't I find the damn dinner? What is this?
And
it looks like they're presenting him with a gift, Maya.
It certainly does, and it appears to be. Is it a mailele? I'm not really sure.
I think it's wrapped in tea leaves, isn't it? No.
Oh, there we go.
He's so clueless right now.
It looks like it could be some sort of ho'okupu.
Jammers, I hope you're feeling
tea leaf.
better.
There we go. Now we can see it now. It looks to be ho'okupu.
How's your
that
head?
is for the
I
president.
hope it feels better.
That looks like it's
Don't
coming
adjust
out
your
crap
set.
on the
I'm
left.
growing out my grays.
And he is the former leader of OHA. He is now on Maui, but these are Native Hawaiian leaders. One thing that we heard from President Biden is that during this rebuild and during this recovery, during this healing, there will be a respect of cultural traditions of Hawaii. That's
He's
one thing
like,
that
what
we've
am
heard,
I
because there
holding?
is a fear that there will be a disrespect of cultural traditions.
Does
And
Jill
so
have
that's
a
why the
bong?
president reiterated that message,
which was great
Does
to hear.
Jill have a bong,
Billy,
dude?
what do you see here?
And you know, one of the
I
things that we've
love
heard
the
from
Hawaiian
people
traditions.
that come
I love
Aina,
it.
that comes from. Let's go ahead and listen in real quick, break.
This makes me sad like it does for the Native Americans. I'm so sad for the Native Americans. I think what we did to them is so shitty. And I feel the same way about Hawaiians. I love culture. I love learning about other people's culture. And I hate to see America moving in on Hawaii and they turned it into a tourist destination for Americans to make money. Did you guys know that? This whole thing started with America taking over Hawaii based on sugar farms, sugar cane. So then when the sugar cane thing was done, then Dole bought all the property. Dole, you know, your pineapple people. So Dole owned like, I don't even know how many thousands of acres, right? Like basically owned Hawaii and did the pineapple thing. And then he sold it off to some other billionaire. So they literally had their own little thing going on. They had their own culture, their own space. And then we came in and said, oh, wow, this is a beautiful fucking place. This would be a great place for tourists and billionaires to make money. And then we took over. And then we condescendingly come there when there's a disaster and we say, I can relate because I almost had a house fire and almost lost my Corvette. Get the fuck out of here. We've got to call it like it is. They should be able to have their own culture, their own history. We are so cocky in thinking that I was taught that Hawaii was a better place when America took over. And that's why we took it over. Because, you know, Hawaii didn't become a state until like 1959 or something. It hasn't been a state that long. We paved paradise and put up a parking lot. And now they get this kind of treatment. Like, I mean, you can see their respect. They respect people. Their culture is respectful. They're calm. They're rational. They're spiritual. And these poor people have to deal with the Bidens or, you know, any other kind of politician. They're all the same, guys. It doesn't matter if it's Biden. It's not because he's old. They just suck. They're self-serving. They're self-serving. And I just think that the Hawaiian people deserve so much better after everything that we did and took away from them, that we should put the control in their hands. Like literally hand them the controller. I don't even want to talk about Pearl Harbor, right? All right, let's keep watching. Bong hits with Jill. I'm not sure if I saw what Oprah did. We lost the video for a second.
Symphony Orchestra. There were
I thought we had the damn dinner on this video. Oh, we do.
People who are here across from.
Yep, we watched that. All right, here's the dinner, guys. We found it.
Are here today, wearing a uniform. Teachers, businesses, business owners, regular folks, and many more who are not here, but still out there continue to work tirelessly for the community they grew up in or a community that they call home.
Hold on, I've got to pause. Cammie, your mom's Hawaiian? She said, you're right, Jay, my mom's Hawaiian. We are visiting family next week. It's a damn shame the way the locals are getting priced out and robbed of our culture. It's awful. Cammie, I'm sorry for what the Americans did to you guys. I apologize on behalf of the overzealous, greedy Americans. To you, your family, your loved ones, and everything else. No, I didn't see Oprah. I can imagine she did something completely out of touch as well. Showing up in her designer clothes and shit. Like, come on, get real. And then Biden throwing on a pair of sneakers. Like, dude, just go.
We have heard stories of carelessness.
We'll see if he's sleeping or praying.
Works in the school system at Kamehameha Third School Elementary.
Sleeping or praying.
And now 2 of my children are educators at Princess Diana.
Oh, when she got kicked out with the cameras. Yeah, she wanted a photo op. Mark Oliver, you're on Oahu. Can I come visit?
attending as victims of this
I sound like a
tragedy
stupid American,
is so
don't
hard
I?
to accept,
Sorry.
as well as the pain that these families must endure.
Love you madly.
Mr. President,
So sorry.
we need your support. We need your help.
I'm so sorry.
in getting our community back.
I really am.
We are a community
Who am I?
that works hard.
I'm
for
a co-
what we have. We are a community that supports and shares what we work hard for.
I'm so sorry, Hawaii.
I left my home with the clothes on my back. These clothes that I have on today were given by someone I don't even know. Like many
It's
others,
very pale. You're
who
right.
left with nothing. They too were given clothes, food, and shelter by someone they may have never met before. We are a community that relies on family, on ohana, whether by blood or by friendship.
I want to ask the people in here that are in Hawaii or that are locals, can you find out a legit fundraiser that maybe a local is doing? Not FEMA. I don't want to donate to FEMA. I don't want to donate to the Red Cross. I don't want to donate to the United Way. I want to do a fundraiser on my channel, and I want the money to go to a local fundraiser. If there's anything like that that's out there and you can find out, Mark Oliver, I don't know if you could find out, maybe. Love you madly. But I would love to have a fundraiser and give the money to the local people. I won't do a fundraiser for any federal programs. There's no way in God's green earth. But I would love to have something that goes directly. Like, is there a family we can adopt? Is there some kind of... See, people should be organizing these resources. Like, adopt a fucking family. I would adopt a family. You know, I would adopt a family and get them things or gift cards, money, supplies, whatever. I mean, Hawaii real estate, he's trustworthy? He's buying Starlinks for people to use phones. That's amazing. All right, let me write that down. Hawaii real estate. Well, I won't forget. Maybe I'll reach out to him. There's numerous GoFundMes. I just want to make sure the GoFundMes are legit because a lot of people are going to be making GoFundMes, I bet. The Maui Mutual Aid Fund, that goes to the locals have control of that. I would love to adopt families. Do you guys, I wish we could find families that we could connect with or like somebody who's organizing some kind of, has a list or something. I don't know. He has a website with direct needs for families. Oh, damn. Okay. The Maui Humane Society. Oh, that would be amazing, Meg. That's a really good idea. Lahaina Ohana Venmo. You can choose a family to donate to. Cammie. Thank you. Oh, let me write that down because that I won't remember. I know myself better than that. So it's Lahaina. Welcome, Nissa Marie. Welcome to Jay's Case Crew. Thank you for joining. Ohana Venmo. How do you choose a family on Venmo? His name is Eric, the real estate guy. Eric. All right. We'll see what we can do. I don't think he's sleeping right now. He's just looking down. Eric West, that's his name? Okay. Maybe I'll get with Eric West and we can do... Ange Carter, how are you, Ange? Hawaii real estate is legit for sure. Okay, cool. We'll have to do that. We'll do a fundraiser maybe this weekend. Get these people some help, right? We can do what we... This is what I mean. The people have to pull together. We can't wait for schmucks like this.
My son's home burned down. My daughter's home burned down. My home burned down. My parents of 59 years home burned to the ground. Mr. President, handouts will not last forever. Lahaina is a not for sale.
He claps! That was directed at you, motherfucker.
So please, we need your expeditious kokua to rebuild our community back. I retired from this county with 33 years of service in the Highways Division. Coached youth sports for over 25 years. We've asked to rebuild.
Is he absorbing
Some
this?
of my suggested steps on this staff. Allow families time to grieve, whether it be a loss of a loved one or a family home passed down from generation to generation. Allow families the opportunity back on their property to sift through what is left of a lifetime's worth of memories for closure, or at least for some peace of mind. During this period of pause, start assembling building supplies, materials, manpower, ready to proceed swiftly for when families are ready. Set in place bureaucratic red tape, such as codes and permits, readily available to avoid delays, long waits, and frustrations. Having these necessities in place, we're greatly assured for when the pause is resumed, the process to
He
restart.
fucking nodded off while this guy who just said that his parents, his daughter, his son, and his house burned down. He just nodded off and then jerked awake. This is awful, guys.
Ready to proceed swiftly for when families are ready. Set in place bureaucratic red tape, such as codes and permits, readily available to avoid delays, long waits, and frustrations. Having these necessities in place, we're greatly assured for when the pause is resumed.
Aloha.
The process
Love you
to
madly.
restart may be restored.
Take
with
care.
minimal difficulty.
Please come back and visit us.
As we absorb what we all encountered, the blame, the finger pointing will begin.
He's not even paying attention. This is so important for him to listen to.
Every person I have spoken with, whether I've known them for a lifetime or have newly.
All right, I'm going to do what someone in chat just said. Blow the shit up because this is America. He represents us, guys. Me, you, everybody in this chat. He represents all of us. Whether we like it or not. He represents us all. That's why I'm pissed.
My home burned down. My parents of 59 years home alone.
I'd like to welcome up our Mayor, Rick Bissing, to the stage.
What's he looking at?
Mr. President, First Lady Dr. Biden, Governor Green, First Lady Mrs. Green,
Dude,
distinguished guests.
He's being addressed and he's not even fucking looking at the stage. He's not even looking at the person addressing him. The person just said, Mr. President. He's looking the other way. Mahalo. I mean, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I've noticed things about him that I didn't like before, but not enough to do a live on it. This is awful.
Volunteers, and especially our Lahaina, Kula, and Kihei families. Aloha pumehana kako. Thank you, Mr. President and First Lady, for traveling here to Lahaina and engaging our community.
Not even looking.
Both President Biden and Governor Green have been exceptionally supportive and extremely swift with necessary aid and assistance. And on behalf of our grateful county, I offer our heartfelt mahalo. I stand here with you today with so much sorrow Many cannot begin to fathom the loss, the hardship, and the heartbreak families are experiencing. Except for you, Mr. President, one who has suffered more personal loss than any individuals have to endure.
They need to move Margaret's head because we can't see his
Their
face.
profound sorrow and pain are immeasurable and inconsolable. In times like these, in the face of tragedy and great loss, the weight of grief cannot be comprehended. I want you all to know that as we navigate through these difficult times,
Mark
no
Oliver.
one is alone. As a community, our people and our government together will do our very best to give unyielding support. I'm grateful to all of our emergency responders who are selfless in their efforts, including the over 20 firefighters and first responders who lost their
Also, here we go. Here's the speech.
A very breezy area because I saw pictures of the fire before it really kicked up. So definitely the winds are helping it and pushing it up slope. And what's interesting is the EMS, those guys are so good. They went in, got the 6 hikers, and then they pointed them out to sea and they rescued them there. Let's go back to this.
Yeah, we didn't get back to President Biden now.
Today. Reminded of a phrase that I have a tradition in my house. Because we're always so busy over the last 25 years, whenever my daughter or my sons, when they were both alive, wanted to leave me a message, they'd tape it on my mirror where I shave. And I was having a particularly tough time at one point years ago. And my daughter taped on my mirror a quote from Kierkegaard. He said, "Faith sees best in the dark." Faith sees best in the dark. When things look the most bleak, that's when we need faith.
Amber? He thinks
Faith
he's in
in
a
our
luau
family,
waiting
faith in
for
ourselves,
hula
and faith in our
dancers.
God. And I've seen, just in the several hours I've been here so far, remarkable resiliency. Such an incredibly good people. Jill and I are here to grieve with you, but also want you to know the entire country is here for you. That's not hyperbole. We mean that. The entire country is here for you.
Oh,
we just surveyed the damage.
It's not hyperbole. We mean that. Why does he always say hyperbole? He said it's not hyperbole. We mean that. What?
Faith. Faith in our family, faith in ourselves, and faith in our God. And I've seen, just in the several hours I've been here so far, remarkable resiliency. Such an incredibly good people. Jill and I are here to grieve with you, but also we want you to know the entire country is here for you. That's not hyperbole. We mean that.
Hyperbole?
The entire country is here for you. We just surveyed the damage. I want you to know, whatever it takes, as long as it takes. I look at your congressmen and senators and governor and lieutenant governor. We're going to get it done for you. But get it done the way you want it done. Not get it done somebody else's way. Well, I mean,
hyperbole means like saying something with exaggerating something. But why does he say it? And that's not a hyperbole. Like, I'm not exaggerating this. I mean it. Like, we're really gonna help you.
I mean it.
I mean it.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday, and lightning struck at home on a little lake. It's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside, I watched the firefighters, the way they responded. You know, there's an old expression. I grew up right across the street from a fire hall in Claymont, Delaware. And the expression is, God made man, then he made a few firefighters. You're all crazy, thank God. The only people who run into flames to help other people. And they ran into flames to save my wife and save my family. Not a joke. The smoke and the firefighters here can tell you sometimes smoke is so thick from the windows out. It was that thick inside the home. And we were insured. We did not have any problem. But being out of our home for the better part of a year was difficult. I can only imagine what it's like to lose your home completely, burned to the ground, and more importantly, all the things that matter to you, from that ring he gave you when you were 19 years old, from that special letter that came for your son or your daughter, the little things that matter most, the album, the family album.
He had 2 weeks to come up with this.
All of it is a touchstone to all the things we care about and lose. And many of you have lost more than just that. Many of you have lost family, not even sure where some are. I've had a similar experience. I was a young senator, being taken care of, not a joke, by Danny Inouye, who was my mentor.
Why is it all about
I was 29
him?
years old. I wasn't old enough to be sworn in as a senator yet. And by the way, for 36 years, I was listed as the poorest man in Congress, so I didn't get there based on my income. And what happened was, I was down in Washington interviewing for staff.
Wow, who fucking cares?
After I was elected on December 18th, before I was sworn in. And I got a phone call from my fire department saying I had to come home immediately. There had been an accident. Tractor trailer.
This again?
Broadsided my wife Christmas shopping with my 3 children. She was killed. My baby was killed. And my 2 boys were thought not to make it initially. So I have a little bit of a sense what it's like driving from Washington to Wilmington, 150 miles, wondering what in God's name is it going to be like when I get to the hospital. Only thing worse than losing someone is not sure whether you've lost someone. Not sure whether. My heart goes out to you, Jill and I. It aches for you, those of you who are trying to determine whether or not the person who is missing and unaccounted for reasons that are devastating. What I've observed in my short time here today is the courage, the community, the sense of togetherness you have.
5 brain cells.
This is not an ordinary community.
Listen to this.
It's a community based on faith in one another.
Brain cells too many. Let's shoot for
I've
3
watched.
brain cells.
I've had an opportunity to get to know your governor. I know your senators, know your folks. What they said about who you are is true. It's true. And it matters. There's an Irish poet who wrote a poem called The Cure at Troy. There's a stanza in it that seems to be appropriate. He said, history teaches us not to hope on this side of the grave. But then once in a lifetime, that long-for tidal wave of justice can rise up and hope and history rhyme. It's time it rises up for you all. It's time to rebuild this community the way you want it built, the way you want it. So it's still a community, not a group of beautiful homes, but a community. And I promise you, I give you my word as a Biden. As long as I am president, your governor's governor, and this group of you, your elected officials are there, we're not going to stop until it's done. As I flew over the carnage today in a helicopter, you'd see a lovely home completely unscathed.
I have a question. Do you still have that Corvette,
a whole bunch
Joe?
of homes around it burned to the ground. Well, I asked what the average age of the homes were that were in this community. They said close to 50 years. The shingles are changed. The way in which the glass and the windows are built. We're not going to build back for you. We're going to build back better. Better than you had. But what you want, what you need. Because, folks,
yeah, at least they had water for your fire, Joe.
That the rest of the world's looking at you. You know, it's not the same circumstance that no losses are the same. But the truth is, the feeling for families that have already been notified.
Where's the kids that are missing,
matters.
Joe? What is he saying?
It's going to be a long road. But you got to have hope. Hope really does spring eternal. It's based on faith. Faith in one another. You know, I've been impressed how you look out for one another. Turn your pain into purpose. This town has stood as a sacred spot for centuries. So much history.
Like, what the fuck is this? And
So
everybody's
much
like, what
beauty.
the fuck is this?
Just before coming here, I stood in front of the banyan tree that stood for 150 years. It burned, but it still stands. One resident called it a diamond in the rough of hope. Another said, fire cannot reach its roots. I know it's a metaphor, but that's you. That's who you are. That's Hawaii. There's no quit in Hawaii. There's no quit in America. There's no quit in us. Remember, for God's name, who we are. Let me end with my prayer for all of you, a prayer that was said at the funeral mass.
Don't think that he didn't.
My children and my. It's based on.
Wait. I'm reading the chat on this live. People are like, please quit talking. Okay, so what I noticed was him bringing attention to how old things were, how everything was out of date. He wants to make this like they're going to rebuild this to be not what it was. I guarantee you. It's going to be built probably with more tourism in mind, and it's not going to have the old style feel like it did before. I wish that I had better hope for that, for the people, but I don't.
The 91st Psalm in my church.
Listen to this part. Listen to this.
One resident called it a diamond in the rough of hope. Another said, fire cannot reach its roots. I know it's a metaphor, but that's you. That's who you are.
This lady's pissing me off.
There's no quit in Hawaii. There's no quit in America. There's no quit in us. Remember, for God's name, who we are.
Remember, for God's name, who we are.
Let me end with my prayer for all of you, a prayer that was said at the funeral masses affecting my children and my.
What?
It's based on the 91st Psalm in my church. It says, may he raise you up on eagle's wings and bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun and hold you in the palm of his hand. To you, the people of this island, shown such absolute courage.
I cannot.
The nation stands with you. It really does. May God bless you all, and may you find the faith to be able to endure what you have to endure. I don't want to do anything out of line here, but if anyone would like to speak with me when this is over, I'll stay around, because I just want you to know we really care. Not a joke. Not a joke.
No one said it
Besides,
was. Why would you keep
if I didn't, Danny, I know you're watching. I know you're watching.
Who's Danny?
I think I learned the lessons you taught me. God bless you all.
Who the fuck is he talking to?
Every time I'd walk out of my grandpa's house, he was an old Irish guy. He'd yell, Joey, keep the faith.
He does.
My grandmother would know, Joey, spread it. Let's spread the faith. God love you all.
He went back to grandpop. Whoa. He came here and he repeated the same story, you guys, that he did outside. Oh, that was a disaster. I'm actually flabbergasted. Why does he keep saying it's not a joke? It's not a joke. It's not a joke. No one said it was a joke, Joe. Oh my God. He's talking. Who's Danny, though? Guys, who the fuck is Danny?
To be able to endure what you have to endure. I don't want to do anything out of line here, but
spread them, Joey.
Would like to speak with me when this is over, I'll stay around, because I just want you to know we really care. Not a joke. Not a joke. And besides, if I didn't, Danny, I know you're watching. I know you're watching.
Did he say daddy?
I think I learned the lessons you taught me. God bless you all. Every time I walk out of my grandpa's house, he was an old Irish guy. He yelled, "Joey, keep the faith." And my grandmother would know, "Joey, spread it. Let's spread the faith. God love you all."
Oh, his son, Danny. He's communicating with the dead. That's a sign of dementia. That is a sign of dementia, guys. Oh, that was the congressman? Flo said it's the congressman that helped him. This is who's speaking for us right now, people. And that's why I went live, because I want my listeners to know, especially the international ones and the Hawaiian listeners, that we have many of them, that he don't speak for me. He doesn't speak for me. So before we conclude our Biden Live today, and I hope you guys will come back and visit me at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm opening up my news desk. I've got some stories for you guys. I want to take you back to the 1980s for a second. Okay. And we're going to cover this. Potato and I are working on our podcast. It's going to be not your grandmother's history lesson. It's going to be conspiracies that are now truth, right? So this will be something that we're going to cover. But do you guys remember, spread them. Do you remember back in the 80s, I'm showing my age, but do you remember Anita Hill and the congressional hearings with Clarence Thomas? Clarence Thomas is a Supreme Court justice. He was just in the news for taking gifts from billionaires. He's crooked as crooked gets. And he sexually harassed Anita Hill back in the 80s. The person that ran the congressional hearing for this was Joe Biden. Not sure if you remember that. I didn't know that. I was little when this happened. But the only thing that I remember, and I don't know if it's because I was young, that the takeaway was the pubic hair on the Coke can. Do you remember the pubic hair? Clarence Thomas, yes. Hebert, yes. The Coke can. Do you know that there's so much more than just the pubic hair on the Coke can? Do you know that Clarence Thomas tried to ruin Anita Hill's life? And did you know that Joe Biden ran those congressional hearings? Yes. Yes. Now check this out. This is a little off the Hawaiian topic. Let's watch this. There's Joe. There's Joe right off the rip. Here he is. There is our president of the United States sitting at the congressional hearing for Anita Hill. Yeah, look at that hair behind him on the right. Holy. But yeah, this is Joe. Doesn't look any happier than he does now. He doesn't look any more soulless than he did now. The man doesn't have a soul. I'm not sure if it's all dementia, guys. He's not a nice person. He's not a nice person. Just saying. Okay, let's listen. Because this woman, Anita Hill, in the 80s, had to go up against all these rich white men. And the rich white men took the side of the black man, right? They had to choose between the female black woman and the black male. And they sided with the black male. But let's watch a little bit of this. It's so interesting to go back in time, isn't it?
Committee will please come to order. Judge, tough day and tough night for you, I know. Let me ask, do you have anything you'd like to say before we begin? I understand that your preference is, which is totally and completely understandable, that we go 1 hour tonight, 30 minutes on each side. Am I correct in that?
That's right.
Do you have anything you'd like to say?
Senator, I would like to start by saying unequivocally, uncategorically, that I deny each and every single allegation against me today that suggested in any way that I had conversations of a sexual nature or about pornographic material with Anita Hill, that I ever attempted to date her, that I ever had any personal sexual interest in her, or that I...
He's lying. Do you know what he told her? He took her to lunch and he proceeded to tell her about the porn that he watches that involves animals and females. This dude, oh my God, it's so awful. It's so awful, guys. So awful.
any way ever harassed her. A second, and I think more important point, I think that this today is a travesty. I think that it is disgusting. I think that this hearing should never occur in America. This is a case in which this sleaze, this dirt,
they're all crooks.
was searched
You're right,
for by
Hebert.
staffers
All
and
of
members
them.
of this committee, was then leaked to the media.
You're embarrassed.
And this committee,
that's the problem, Clarence.
this body,
look at Biden,
validated it and displayed it at prime time over our entire nation.
I don't think she
How
was
would any
lying at
member
all.
on this committee, any person in this room, or any person in this country would like sleaze said about
This poor black female had to go in front of this panel of white men. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine the 1980s and being Anita Hill and having to sit in front of these fucknuts. Another random fun fact that I learned when I was investigating back into Clarence Thomas in the hearings. Another random fun fact that's just slipped my mind. Maybe I'll remember. Let's keep watching.
him or her in this fashion.
Oh.
Or this dirt dredged up in
this dirt. That President Reagan in the 80s was trying to get rid of all the civil rights offices in the universities. The civil rights, I can't remember what it was called, but that's where Anita Hill worked. President Reagan, who everybody I love Reagan, I love Reagan, was trying to get rid of all the civil rights offices in the universities. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
this gossip and these lies displayed in this manner. How would any person like it? The Supreme Court is not worth it. No job is worth it. I'm not here for that. I'm here for my name, my family, my life, and my integrity. I think something is dreadfully wrong with this country when any person in this free country would be subjected to this. This is not a closed room. There was an FBI investigation. This is not an opportunity to talk about difficult matters privately or in a closed environment. This is a circus. It's a national disgrace. And from my standpoint, as a black American, as far as I'm concerned, it is a high-tech lynching for uppity blacks who in any way deign to think for themselves.
Uppity
to do for
blacks?
themselves, to have different ideas. And it is a message that unless you kowtow to an old order, this is what will happen to you. You will be lynched, destroyed, caricatured by a committee of the U.S. Senate rather than hung from a tree.
That was in 91. I take that back.
During this period at the Department of Education, my working relationship with Judge Thomas was positive. I had a good deal of responsibility and independence. I thought he respected my work and that he trusted my judgment. After approximately 3 months of working there, he asked me to go out socially with him. What happened next and telling the world about it are the two most difficult experiences of my life. It is only after a great deal of agonizing consideration and great number of sleepless nights that I am able to talk of these unpleasant matters to anyone but my close friends. I declined the invitation to go out socially with him and explained to him that I thought it would jeopardize what at the time I considered to be a very good working relationship. I had a normal social life with other men outside of the office. I believed then, as now, that having a social relationship with a person who was supervising my work would be ill-advised. I was very uncomfortable with the idea and told him so. I thought that by saying no and explaining my reasons, my employer would abandon his social suggestions. However, to my regret, in the following few weeks, he continued to ask me out on several occasions. He pressed me to justify my reasons for saying no to him. These incidents took place in his office or mine.
I don't think she's
They were in
lying.
the form of private conversations, which would not have been overheard by anyone else. My working relationship became even more strained when Judge Thomas began to use work situations to discuss sex. On these occasions, he would call me into his office for reports on education issues and projects, or he might suggest that because of the time pressures of his schedule, we go to lunch to a government cafeteria. After a brief discussion of work, he would turn the conversation to a discussion of sexual matters. His conversations were very vivid. He spoke about acts that he had seen in pornographic films involving such matters as women having sex with animals and films showing group sex or rape scenes.
I'm sorry.
He talked about.
I'm sorry. I believe her. I don't think she's going to pull that out of her ass. I don't think this woman is going to pull out of her ass and go publicly in front of a Senate committee and say that. Why would she lie about that? And what? No one's going to say that if it's not true.
And films showing group sex or rape scenes. He talked about pornographic materials depicting individuals with large penises or large breasts involved in various sex acts. On several occasions, Thomas told me graphically of his own sexual prowess. Because I was extremely uncomfortable talking about sex with him at all, and particularly in such a graphic way, I told him that I did not want to talk about these subjects.
Who believes him? Put a 1 in chat if you believe Clarence Thomas. Put a 2 in chat if you believe Anita Hill. Yeah, she's not going to make that. She's not going to make that up. I would love to go over all of this. It's so interesting to me, but we will be going over it. Look at Como in the middle there. Sketch. Talk about sketch. In our podcast with Potato that we're going to do on history and conspiracies. But I believe her 100%. So I just want to show you, let's get up to speed on Clarence Thomas, the latest. This guy has always been shyster, in my opinion. And let's see what he has done now.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org.
I'm not going to watch that long-ass one. ProPublica is the one that exposed this.
A brand new report is raising some serious questions about Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and the lavish gifts that he reportedly accepted from a GOP megadonor. ProPublica says that the luxury vacations from billionaire Harlan Crow were never disclosed. And according to these ProPublica, these are photos of Clarence Thomas and his wife, Ginny Thomas, with Crow and others during a trip to Indonesia back in 2019. The report says that the Thomases flew on Crow's private jet to Indonesia for the 9-day luxury vacation, one that they say is valued at more than $500,000. Now, ProPublica goes on to say that the extent and frequency of Crow's apparent gifts to Thomas have no known precedent in the modern history of the United States Supreme Court. And just minutes ago, Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin had this to say, quote, "The ProPublica report is a call to action, and the Senate Judiciary Committee will act." CNN Supreme Court reporter Ariane DeVoe is joining us now.
He accepted luxury trips and all this other shit.
Congress right now, it's moving. It wants more ethics disclosure.
I wonder if he's still watching bestiality porn. What do you think? Crooked as fuck. Tell me she's lying. Get the fuck on out of here with that shit. That woman had nothing to gain sitting in front of those frickin' rich white men.
It's Thomas. And of course,
nothing. She had nothing to gain, in my opinion. Where's that screen grab of him? So, there he is. There he is. Oh, this is, look at when Anita Hill said he watched Bestiality. Live look. That was when he found out. One-Eyed Flo, I watched the whole hearing, had a new baby. Our kids named our black naughty cat Clarence T. My mom watched it too. Yes, he was loving that, wasn't he? He was relishing her I don't know, her experience. It was really kind of gross. But yeah, live look at Clarence Thomas when the world found out that he watches Bestiality. All right, guys, I'll see you guys back here at 3 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching this with me. We will do a fundraiser for the people of Hawaii, and our thoughts and prayers are going out to Hawaii every day. I'll see you guys at 3. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn.
John Wayne Bobbitt's penis.
For donuts.
You buzzed?
Given the fallout. Given the fallout.
Oh my God.
God forbid. God forbid. One comment. Very white-sided.
It's not white-sided.
You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to France, but don't.
Gonna fucking need extra slow in a second.
I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time.
Don't make me a dog-faced lion pony soldier.